Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. We're back. Day 81. Today's reading was Deuteronomy 32 to 34, and then we had a psalm thrown in there. And this is one of the things I really like about the chronological sort of ordering of the Bible, because you really get to see things as they happen. And we're in Deuteronomy, but there's a psalm actually from this time period, at least from the best estimation of this time period, by sort of scholars and historians and guys who are much more intelligent than I am. And so we're closing in on the end of Moses' life, and this is the song that we, I think, talked about yesterday. A song that talks about how God loves people of Israel, how He's watched over them, saved them. Um, but then it talks about how Israel turns away from God. They they um, they sacrifice to demons. They worship other gods, and the consequences of that, the consequences of turning their back on God, result in His anger. And his handing them over to their enemies, as it were. But we also end with, the when they turn back to God, when they ask for God to come and save them, then He will come once more, and He'll save them from those that are against Israel. And yeah, it's it's an important song, because I think it summarizes everything that the law has, all the instructions that Moses has given Israel up to this point. And so, yeah, Moses gives them the song, gives them this warning, and instructs them to pass it on. The entirety of Israel, all the generations to come, should know of this. And by obeying the words that God has given them, the law that God has given them, they will all enjoy a good long life. And then the Lord shows Moses where he's to die, where he's to go, and look upon the land that is promised. He will see the land, but he will not enter it, which is in and of itself a grace. Remember when God said that He wouldn't enter it, when he dishonored the Lord at the waters of Meribah, and He pleaded and said, "Cool, I'll let you see it, but you won't go in," which was a great grace, and I'm sure Moses was appreciative of that. And so Moses gives this last blessing, and it's beautiful words, really, to the various tribes of Israel, blessing them all and each, identifying, those that are, some that are blessed, some that are strong. So he goes through all the tribes, including Ephraim and Manasseh, and Joseph as well, which is interesting. So they get like a double portion almost. And ultimately, in chapter 34, Moses goes to die. He climbs up to Mount Nebo, and he sees the land, sees all of the land, and he dies there. Now, interestingly, the Lord Himself buries him, such that no one knows where he actually was buried. I've hinted at this earlier. I'm sure there are lots of reasons why. One reason I liked was that God had to hide His bones lest the enemy goes to take His bones, and makes a liar out of God by making Moses touch the promised land. I don't think it's said anywhere, but yeah. The other interesting thing is this is the first of instances we're seeing a person sort of die, but not die kind of off screen, as it were. And the other person we're going to see do this, well, there's two other people. There is Enoch, who this occurred before the flood, but he didn't actually die. And then there's also Elijah. Now, of those three that, at least when they died, God was very intimately involved. Moses and Elijah then show up later on. So, is there anything there? I don't know, but it's cool. And Joshua takes up after Moses, and it said Joshua was full of the Spirit, for Moses had laid his hands on him. That made me wonder, or made me think along the lines of the laying of hands and what significance it can have. This is, I think, maybe not the first time we're seeing it, but it stood out to me with this sort of transfer of authority. Um, and then we have this last psalm, which was a prayer of Moses. And again, like the song earlier on, it speaks to, excuse me, speaks to God being powerful, being capable, um, choosing Israel, but then also Israel's sins causing the Lord to turn against us, um, and be angry against them. It ends in sort of pleading for God to come back, pleading for Him to take pity on them, and to restore to them His love. And so that's today's reading. Let's round it up. Tomorrow's reading, we start with Joshua, and it'll be Joshua 1 to 4. God willing, I'll be here tomorrow. We can talk